Hey guys, welcome to the GMV Podcast. In this episode, we're talking about the mission of this podcast. The mission of this podcast is to motivate people and for me to talk about my experiences of what I've been through. And hopefully, you guys take something here and there from this segments that I'm doing and these episodes and, apply them to your everyday life if it works for you, I'm not saying I'm perfect or anything like that, but I'm also going to be putting here my mistakes of what I've done. I guess this episode is just telling you guys what the mission is. The mission is to try, all of us, even in the comment section, if you guys want to comment a topic or anything like that, for us to exchange information and experiences to better each other. I could learn something from you guys, be like, hey, you could talk about, taxes, you could talk about budgeting. You could talk about anything, any sort of topic that you guys want to we could do it. I feel like I'm also doing this for my kids later on. God forbid anything ever happened to me or anything like that, they could see, what I've been through, or when I'm like 30 or 40 years from now, they could see how we started and, like an archive, technically, that's why I would like this thing to be, an archive of everything we've been through, because, we did start from the mud, now I do own a home, I'm able to afford like little luxuries here and there, but this was never always the case, A lot of sacrifice went into this, a lot of hard work, a lot of sleepless nights. Like tonight, I just came back from work and it's 4 a.m. and I'm doing this. Not because I have to or anything like that. It's because I really want this to succeed. It's starting to become a passion of mine. Like I feel weird when I'm like right now, like 5 minutes ago, I was like, man, I should just go to sleep. I was like, nah, I gotta do it. They say that discipline is the hardest thing, because sometimes you're not motivated every day, sometimes motivation goes away, but if you're disciplined, it doesn't matter whether you're motivated or not, you still got to do it. And that's something that I'm working on too, because I had to also hit the gym soon or stuff, like, because I got to lose weight, but I am motivated right now, but I'm also trying to learn how to be disciplined, because discipline, from the looks of it, takes you a long way. I'm very disciplined in my work ethic. I hate calling off. I hate doing this and that. Not because I could take a couple of days off. I do have a lot of vacation time and all that, but I just feel weird. Maybe I'm addicted to work, or maybe I'm a workaholic, but I've always had different types of jobs and, other source of income. I've never had one. And I think I get that from my mom, I never seen my mom call off work because she wanted to be lazy one day. If she ever called off work, it's because she was really sick. Even when she had a fever, I would see her go to work, because back then we didn't really have vacation. She didn't have vacation time, You miss a day of work, that's the day you don't get paid. And I think that's why I admire her a lot. And that's why I took it that I don't take days off, unless I really have to, unless there's an emergency. I don't just wake up one day like, I'm not going to go to work. I can't do that. Unless I'm sick, my kids are sick, anybody's like ill, I'll take a day off. But, apart from that, I don't take days off, because I do know that sometimes people say you gotta take days for yourself, but I can't do that. I got too much things in my mind, too many goals for me to accomplish. A day that I take off because I want to take off is a day longer that it's gonna take me to achieve my goals, and that bothers me. So I'm not like that. But that's my work ethic. That's my That's my discipline in my work. I got that through my mom. Motivation and ambition, I've gotten it from, how I grew up. Like, I've always wanted to have a new car. I've always wanted to do that. And I never, experienced that until, now that I'm older, right now, starting my early 30s. But, I've always wanted to have a home, like I remember one time my parents, we always used to live in apartments, but remember one time, I heard that they were about to buy a house. My mom and my stepfather, rest in peace. And we got so excited, me and my brother were like, man, we're about to have our own rooms and this and this and that. But it didn't go through, And I remember that moment that didn't go through. I was like, man, because, we see movies, and I always wanted to experience that, like my own home. But that's why now that I have my kids, I told them, like, you guys are going to have your own home, somewhere you guys can make your memories, And that's a job of a parent. I'm not bashing my mom or anything. That my parents did the best they could with the resources they had. And I'm always going to be grateful for that. But, as a kid and now that I'm an adult, I feel like the younger generation always has to surpass the previous one, Like it's a constant motion. It's a constant movement. And you got to motivate your kids. You got to motivate, like me, right? I was the first one in my family to reach 6 figures continuously every year. Before this, and it's not me bragging or anything like that, but before this, nobody has ever accomplished that. What I expect from my kids, I'm going to teach them everything I learned, so they could reach my goal. They could reach 6 figures way younger than I did. I started at 27, I think it was the first year, 27, 28. I'm almost going to be 32 in August. It took me 27 years, to get the house for them. I want them to reach that even in a younger age than me. I didn't go to college. I know a lot of people that got into college and it didn't work out for them. So I look for other avenues to succeed, because sometimes school's not for everybody. School wasn't for me. I'm not very good with school. I'm more like hands-on and learn through my errors, but, maybe that works out for my kids, but I'm just going to teach them everything that worked out for me, and I'm not going to leave anything out. Hey, this worked for me. Maybe this going to work. And I feel like at the end of the day, my kids are going to grab a little bit here and there, make their own path, which is all I care about. I'm not saying that they have to be ambitious as I am, but as long as they're doing something, I'll be okay. And that's why I'm going to tell my kids, you always got to be doing something, like I don't want to see you guys sitting at home, or I don't want to see you, living with me and not having some sort of ambition or some sort of goal. Because what happens the day I'm gone, or the day their mom is gone? I don't want to have kids that are so dependent on me and their mother that they God forbid anything happen to us, they're gonna be lost. No, I'm gonna make self-sufficient kids. They know that we're always gonna be there for them in case they ever get in trouble, but they shouldn't solely depend on us. And I feel like that's something I've seen a lot of kids now. They're really codependent on their parents. And I think that I'm not sure that's a generational gap or whatever happened, but I don't think that should be it, because now everybody feels entitled to everybody's success, and that shouldn't be it. Everybody should be making their own success. I'm not saying success is based on monetary value or who has more, but successful in life, where you're doing your own thing, whether you're a photographer, whether you're, security somewhere, doesn't matter. But be successful in your own way and not much of other people. I feel like now society has gone to the place where kids or young adults in their mid-20s and 30s, they'd rather stay with their mom to pay less than go out there in the real world. But what happens when, God forbid, their moms are gone, or whoever they're codependent from is gone? They're gonna be so scared of the world, then they're not gonna be able to do anything, you know? And that's something that I've seen, and I'm teaching my kids. Like right now, my oldest is 8, the other one's about to be 7. They're like, hey, papi, you know, can you get me this? I'm like, well, you guys could get it. You guys are big now. I'm here to protect my kids. I'm here to provide for my kids, but I'm not here to make them useless. My job as a father is to build them for the world that they're going to face. My job as a father is to provide for them security, food. But my job as a father is not going to be able to, I'm not going to fail them and make them, you know, useless in the world. Because that'll be the failure on me. You know, I've already learned my mistakes. You know, I dropped out of school when I was like 16. You know, my mom told me, you either want to work or you want to go to school. And I said, you know what, Mom, I'm going to work. And I worked, and I didn't go on vacation until like, 2 years ago when I went to Florida. I've never been on vacation before. I've worked. And I made mistakes financially. You know, I spent money at nightclubs, buying bottles, this and that. But, you know, that's something that now I'm going to teach my kids not to do. And if they do it, they got to be careful, you know? But I feel like there's so many paths now, positive paths. I just want my kids to be able to do something. Whatever they want to do, as long as they do something. You know, that they're not wasting their time, because time flies. I was just thinking about this today. You know, I was 21 almost 11 years ago. And I thought it was a big achievement, but I feel like I just closed my eyes and I'm 30, almost 32 years old. Time doesn't wait for nobody. If you're out there in your house and you're seeing this video and you're like, you know what, I'm going to push my goals. I'm going to push my goals. Time doesn't wait for nobody. Pretty soon it's going to be 5 years later, you're still pushing your goals. And that's it. That's why I'm starting to, like I started this podcast earlier. You know, time waits for nobody. And as long as you're doing something, you know, like I'm like, and that comes from, you know, you gotta be motivated. And if you lose motivation, you know, you gotta be disciplined. But, you know, like I said, I worked the other day, went straight to my other job. From my other job, I came straight here and started doing this 4 a.m. And there's a lot of people who tell me, hey, Gabriel, slow down. Hey, Gabriel, you know, you'll get sick. Hey, Gabriel, do this, do that. But if I wasn't the type of person, you know, like a lot of people tell me, you know, have one job. Everybody makes it okay with one job. Or, you know, slow down, this and that. Whatever I've achieved, it would have taken me 2 or 3 times longer. You know, like, I can't slow down because I have goals. I feel like I'm racing against time. That's how I feel. You know, and I can't slow down. You know, and everybody tells me, hey, slow down. Like, I can't. I don't know if I'm addicted to success or I'm addicted to work, or I don't know. But I told myself I'm going to become a millionaire one day. And I truly believe that. You know, every year my income has grown a lot. You know, I remember when I first touched 100,000 in a year that I made. I thought it was a bomb, you know, like that feeling of, and every year I feel like the bomb because every year I'm breaking my barriers. Every year I'm making more and more and more and more. And I'm doing this, I'm doing that. And everybody's telling me to slow down, but I'm not going to slow down because if I slow down, my family suffers. Not financially or anything like that, but it suffers that I feel like I'm giving a bad example. In this life, you gotta go and get yours because nobody's gonna get it for you. That's a fact. I don't want to be regular. I could live a regular life where I could live with one job right now. I could live pretty comfortably. I could still afford whatever I want to afford. I could live okay, but I don't want to be regular, man. Maybe that works for some people. I'm not saying what I'm doing is for everybody. I'm just trying to motivate people and see them so they could see my perspective. If I didn't have this ambition, if I didn't have multiple jobs, when push comes to shove, a lot of people will be suffering because, they needed this from me and I couldn't provide for them. And that's the thing too. Right now, everybody could be telling me, hey, Gabriel, you're doing too much. Gabriel this, Gabriel that, Gabriel this. But when this works out, because I know this is going to work out, some way, some form, I'm going to be successful more than I have been. And everybody's going to be over there. Oh, Gabriel, you did it, this and this and that. That's why you got to go get yours. Because nobody's going to be there in the hard journey getting up there. Getting up to the mountain, nobody's going to be behind you. But once you reach the top, everybody's going to fly with a helicopter and meet you there. That's what it's going to be. Once you're successful, nobody's behind you on the sleepless nights. Nobody's here behind me. You see anybody behind me right now? Ain't nobody here. I'm trying to make this podcast work. I'm trying to do this, do that, manage a family, finances, all my responsibilities, and do this on the side. But there's nobody here at 4 a.m. with me. But I know this is going to work out. Even if it takes me 10 years, this is going to work out because I truly believe in this. But when it works out, then that's when you get your everybody sees what you're making, Everybody sees the hard work. It's like kind of like when kids go to school for college, right? They spend 4 years in college, but when they graduate, everybody's there. And those sleepless nights when you putting yourself through college, going to college, going to have a part-time job, those sleepless nights, researching, doing papers, and there's nobody behind you. But when you graduate, everybody comes. That's how life is. You gotta go get yours because nobody's gonna do it for you. And this is the mission of this podcast. This brings me circle back. The mission of this podcast is to motivate people. Because we're in this journey together. Whether you watch me 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, we're in this journey together. If you need motivation, leave a comment. I'll make a video to motivate you. If you want to talk about any topic, drop a comment. We'll research it together. This podcast is about us going through this journey together and being successful. Because unlike what the thing I'm saying that there's nobody behind me, you guys are behind me. Those loyal viewers, I see you guys. I see those 30 of you. You actually, even though you're not here 4 a.m, but tomorrow when I upload this video, you're going to be there watching me. So whatever you guys want to talk about, we could talk about it because we're going to be successful together. And that's the mission of this podcast, to be successful together. Talk about various things. Like I'm Hispanic. In a Hispanic family, it's very taboo to talk about finances because you look stuck up. But imagine if whatever information I have about money, about finances, maybe you're looking for it. But it's taboo to talk about it because we're, our heritage or a Hispanic background comes that you don't talk about finances because it seems rude. No, because whatever information maybe I have, it took me 27 years to make 6 figures. You're probably 18, maybe you're younger than that. And you're like, how did he do it? So I'm gonna tell you how I did it, so you can cut that in half. So all those mistakes I did, you don't gotta go through that no more. So like this, like the equipment. Sometimes it's equity. I could tell you, don't do this because it's going to save you so much time and research what I've been through to make this, let's say, microphone less equity. It's the same thing with life. The mission of this podcast is to cut whatever you're trying to achieve in half. We all help each other. There's maybe, maybe I'm going to have a question and a segment about me having a question about, maybe there's a viewer out there that knows about it. That's what this podcast is going to be about. Because I was struggling what I was going to do, whether it was talk about hip hop, talk about, what's going on in the world, I may also talk about that, but the main mission of this podcast is to motivate people to be successful, because we're all in this together. Those sleepless nights, I'll be with you. I'll be with you guys. The same as right now. I know you guys are not here with me, but there's 30 viewers that constantly looking at my content. And I know you guys are going to watch it tomorrow. So in a way, you are with me. And when this podcast becomes successful, I'm going to get better at this. Every episode, I'm learning something new, talking to the camera. Because I remember when I used to talk, I used to have you guys like this, and you guys want to see my hat. I'm talking straight, getting better equipment, getting better guests, getting this and that. We're going to get this together. And this episode is about the mission of this podcast. What are we going to be about? Our community. I have a little community. There's 30 of you who are riding with me, family, friends, and there's people out there that I don't even know. The unique viewers. And I appreciate every one of you. And I want to say thank you for supporting me. I can't stress that enough. And I'll be there supporting you. If you're starting a new channel, right? You want to be shout out to my 30 viewers. I don't have thousands. I have 30. I'll shout you out. We all start somewhere, but we gotta be okay with sharing knowledge between each other, because that taboo thing about, let's not talk about finances or this is this and that has to be gone. That's the way of thinking from the past. We're in the future. If you don't adjust, you get left behind. That's a fact. So if you're starting something, any sort of business, we'll shout you out, man, because we're in here trying to be successful to get together. That's the mission of this podcast. That's the mission of, this is not just a podcast, it's a way of living, So that's what I want to get across, man. And I appreciate every one of y'all. Drop a comment, drop a like, share, and, we're in this together, and we're all going to be successful. We're all going to get ours. We're all become millionaires, financially free. We don't have to be doing the sleepless nights. Not because we have to, it's because we want to. That's going to be the difference about this. Work isn't just going to become because we have to work. It's because we want to work. That's what I want to achieve. Where there's a place where I don't have to go to work, but I want to. Where I don't have to worry about money. Where I don't have to worry about medical bills. Where I don't have to worry about this and this and that. I want to wake up one day and be like, you know what? I'm doing to what I want to have passion about. I'm having a lot of passion about this. This is really fun, making videos. This is really fun for me, producing my own stuff, So if you find a passion, do it. Even if you have other responsibilities, you have other jobs, this and that. Make time for the passion of yours. I'm making mine. Like I said, it's 4 a.m. I drove like 10 hours, more than 10 hours, because I had pickups and all that. But I'm still doing this. And tomorrow I have to do something else to make more money. But I'm not expected to make money out of this anytime soon. I'm doing this because I really want to, and I really like doing this. And, thank you guys once again for this, for be sticking with me. Thank you. I'm always blessed. Family and friends who have supported me and support me. And, we're on this together. And that's the GMV mission. The GMV Podcast mission, to be successful together, to share knowledge together. And we're going to get to the top. And that's a guarantee. All right, guys. Thank you for sticking with me. And I'll catch you guys later in the next pod.